Hello, guys. Something just came to me, and I like to say things as they come to me because this is not like a structured type of professional type of channel. I just say what's on my mind, and something just came to me, and it's like it's what I need to do. And even though I have not perfected it, if I wait till I do perfect it, I'll probably forget what I was going to say. Because I have to say things as they come to me. It's not like I'm really building a channel. This is just for me to say what's on my mind. Um, and what was on my mind was about getting more into the spirit self. Because we know this physical world is like an ego world. It's an illusion, right? And even though we can know that, if we are so sucked into daily life all the time, you just know it in your on a conscious level. You can realize that you're some people call it holographic world. Like I say, I call it virtual reality, whichever one. Most people know that it's some kind of illusion. Most people do. I'm not going to say most. I would say most of the people that I probably look at, and that's because I can't really tune in too much to people who are, I can't really tune in to people for too long who really, really believe this is physical, unless I'm trying to understand how to manage my credit. Things like that I need to manage while my mind is still lowered. Let me say, while my mind is still lowered to this ego world, I will pay attention to people long enough to know how to still manage this illusion that we're in. Okay. But other than that, I say most, but it might not be most. I think it's most because I don't really tune in to too many people who are unaware. And I don't have friends because I don't want to have to keep sitting around, keep trying to act mundane and just have a bunch of physical conversations just so I can have a friend. So it's good to have associates because you never know what you might need. So you can have some numbers that you might need to call. And, you say hello to them every once in a while, But other than that, I can't, any longer to just be stuck on this world when it's already really kind of hard for me to get my mind out of it because I still have things that I have to do. I still have to make money. The biggest thing that holds me back personally, not anybody else, me personally, the biggest thing that holds me back from getting more in the spirit and out of this illusion is money. And these people, these handlers, these controllers, they knew what they were doing. Money is going to keep you in this physical world. Now, if you are a person, or anybody is a person who is comfortable with money, maybe, sometimes being comfortable in money is not great either, because then when you get comfortable and you get to buy almost anything you want to, well, then you still get attached that way too, because you can do almost anything you want. So then there's still no reason to get more in the spirit. I mean, I see millionaires all the time, right? That's really attached to the physical world, probably more than somebody who's broke. But the problem with somebody who's broke is that they constantly worrying. See, that's the problem. So they constantly stuck in their root and constantly worried. But even somebody who is rich, okay, well, they get whatever they want. And then the thing with somebody who's rich, they need to make sure they keep that up. So either side don't get to relax in this ego world. So anyway, getting to the point though, because that's not the main thing I want to talk about. The main thing I want to talk about is how I was told to still get in the spirit as much as I can. And at this time where I am right now in my life, I do have plenty of hours to focus on spirit. I'm not going to lie. I know I got other stuff that needs to go on. But the problem is that when you have done everything that you can do for that day, And I'm saying this to me too, as I'm saying it to you. I'm actually talking to myself, but I'm saying you. When you have done everything you can possibly do for that particular day, right? Like today is, what's today? Thursday, whatever. I don't know. Sometimes I can't keep up with the dates. So I done did everything I can possibly do for today, right? Whatever needs to be done is going to have to start tomorrow, right? So I don't need to be thinking about nothing else unless I need to organize my day. In that case, organize my day and then let it go until so-called tomorrow on the Gregorian calendar gets here, right? Because we know we're in Groundhog Day, don't we? But anyway, so organize whatever you need to do because you got to organize your day. Some of you have kids. I have no idea what that's like, so you have more to organize. But other than that, once you finish, that's it. Say it's 6 o'clock where you are, 7 o'clock where you are. Are you about to get out the house and do anything else? So once your day is organized, you done cooked your meals or whatever it is you're supposed to do, that is it. Unless you got some little ones, people need to leave you alone and let you go on and get in the spirit, because that's too much doggone time in the physical illusion world. It really is. Now let me tell you what I just saw, because I was trying to and when you know what, people don't like to meditate. Let me tell you something. I don't like that word, because what it is that it sounds like it's a task. How do I meditate? See, because when you see people online, honestly, they make it seem like they so skilled. They sitting in this position with their legs crossed. I don't want to call it Indian position, but to be honest with you, when I went to India, yes, most of them sit like that. Even when they not meditating, they can sit down and eat some food, and that's how they eat. Okay, so I guess they call it that because that's really how they sit. No matter what they doing, that's how they sit. You know, but I'm just gonna say, sit down with your legs crossed. People really make it seem like it's a big deal. And that's why people run from meditation. And so I don't even think I like that word anymore, because the way people have made it look, it's almost like it's something that's hard to do. When really meditation is just letting go of the physical world, letting go of whatever you think you're supposed to be doing, all of whatever you think your responsibilities are. And I'm saying think for a reason, and I'm going to get to why I'm saying think. Whatever you think you're supposed to be doing, whatever you think your responsibilities are, whatever bills you think you have to pay, I'm saying think for a reason. Okay? So for me, meditation, and if I can find another word, you know what, I'm just going to say get to a point where you get to your true self, your inner self, and not think about all this other stuff that you're supposed to be doing. Maybe that's a whole sentence though. I don't know what other word I'm going to, but I hate that word meditation because it sounds complicated, and it's not. It's really just letting go of all the craziness and get into your inner self and just tuning into who you are, tuning into yourself, and getting out the world. To me, that's just what that is. I don't sit with my back straight up. I don't even lay on my back. I lay on my side. You know, sometimes I could be listening to somebody, like I could be listening to a YouTuber, you know, express their opinion like I'm doing right now. I listen to other YouTubers do the same thing. Sometimes I get in the spirit while I'm listening to them, and I get outside of the physical, but I'm still hearing them speak. You see what I'm saying? But see, when we hear to other people, and that's on YouTube, they make it just sound too. I know you need to be quiet in the room. Sometimes it don't always. You know what? Everything don't work like that for everybody. Sometimes you can hear a bunch of noise and you know how to tune it out, and then you still know how to get to your inner self. Everybody is different. You might be on work at break. You might have just finished eating lunch, and you just want to 5 minutes just get to yourself. Okay. So I don't even know if I like that word anymore because it sounds too complicated. Okay, so let me tell you what I just saw, and this is going to be really the main thing that was a message for me, and it could be for you. So I saw a hamster wheel. When I kept trying to think about what I got to do for tomorrow. And then I said, oh, let me stop, get out of this world. Let me get out of this world and get into where I'm really supposed to be. Because truthfully, this day is over for me. It ain't nothing else I can do. So let me get out of this world. And then next thing you know, I saw a hamster wheel. I said, okay, I do realize that we are on a hamster wheel. It's like that guy Infinite Waters. And let me tell you something, I don't watch his channel really. But I remember years ago, and I don't know if he still say this, but he used to say, you in a rush to go nowhere fast. That's that hamster wheel. That's that hamster wheel I saw when my eyes were closed. It's the same thing he said years ago that I don't know if he still say it, but he said it like 6 or 7 years ago when I used to look at him. I think his name is Ralph Smart, Diving Deep. But anyway, it's not to say anything about him. I don't want to be criticizing nobody else. I'm just saying a message that he said that's true. That matches this hamster wheel I saw. He said that you are in a rush to go nowhere fast. And then I saw this image of this hamster wheel when my eyes were closed. And hamsters are in cages. And then they're on the wheel. And they think they got somewhere to go. They keep running and running and running and running and running and running and running. Okay, now I'm going to get back to the point where I said, you think you got something to do. You think you got bills to pay. And we do in this illusion. We got to keep things up in this illusion, because in this illusion, if we don't keep up the things that our responsibilities, then we're going to suffer the consequences within this particular illusion. But we really ain't doing nothing. It's really, when you really see what's really out there, is oneness, and it's completely dark. Because I've been there when I got to it, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys have too. So I ain't trying to brag. I know some of you guys, I've read some of your comments. Some of you guys probably been there too. When I really get to a certain place in a meditation, all I see is darkness. I don't see nothing else but darkness. There's nothing else around me. So really, there's nothing out there. It's like it's an illusion. You can call it a matrix or whatever you want to call it, but we're in an illusion, thinking that we're doing something. And then when you look up, you really got nothing done, because there's nothing there. Because we're in an illusion that I would call a virtual reality, and others might call a holographic world. But either way, when I get into a certain type of meditation, I see that there is nothing there. When I get to my true inner self for real, I don't see nothing but darkness. I really don't. And I see water, like I'm in water. Okay? And so I'm basically underwater. And then when I rise above water, I just see a never-ending ocean, and then I see a sun. That's what I see. That's all there is. And I asked Spirit, what's under all that water that I just came from? Guess what it showed me? It showed me a bunch of corpses. We are doing nothing every day. We go to work, we do all this, and then we really, at the end of the day, we are on that hamster wheel. Like that guy said, we're in the rush to go nowhere fast, but as long as you keep waking up in this illusion, it's going to feel like, we got to keep doing stuff. I got an appointment tomorrow at 10:30. But guess what? I'm really not going to be doing anything. That's on my conscious understanding, right? That's in my conscious mind. It needs to be digested. See, that's the problem, is that it needs to be digested. Because I know tomorrow I have an appointment at a certain time, right? Today I had to go somewhere. But when it comes down to it, when you really tell the truth, I didn't do nothing at all. And what is it? It's not me criticizing myself. I'm not saying I wasn't productive. What I'm saying is that none of this stuff is here. Our bodies really don't even exist. And this is what I keep being told to do. Stop identifying with the body, because it's not really there. It's an avatar, as if you're playing a video game. It's not really there, but we identify so much with it, that most of us are reduced to our 5 senses, and that causes us to be automatons, which are nothing but egos running around, almost like bots. But we think we are connected to something else because we have different personalities. But so can Sophia has a personality. Okay, I'm just saying. So it's some of these other AIs around here. They got feelings now. They do. They got a personality and they got feelings. So I'm just saying. The message for me was this: don't get so sucked into this what you would think is a physical reality, because it's getting stuck into five senses, which is an illusion, and you become an automaton. You become some kind of bot. Okay? I'm going to say this. When you become an automaton, a bot, and you're not really connected to your spirit man, then sometimes these other entities like the government can own you. I hate to say that. They can own you. I remember last year seeing a bunch of barcodes on people's necks. Barcodes. And I don't know if it have anything to do with the events that happened recently, but I think it has a lot to do with just being stuck in the ego, being stuck in the five senses, being stuck in the physical world, which is, if you're stuck in the physical world, you're stuck in your ego because you're stuck in an illusion. And when your mind is stuck in an illusion, because that's really all there is, your mind, your spirit, your soul, that's all there is. But when you're stuck in an illusion, when your mind is that low, then you really have no ownership of yourself. Okay, so let me tell you something. If 75% people, which I don't know if it happened, was to raise their consciousness, raise up their mind, get a higher mind, get more into their spirit, instead of being sucked so much into this illusion, a lot of this stuff that's happening with all these mandates, I know they lifting it, but they're going to bring it back. That's why I don't get excited. I'm in California. I know not to get excited, okay? Whatever they call themselves lifting, they're going to bring something back much worse. And I'm in California, so nobody's comfortable over here. Okay? So, but, if 75%, just saying the United States, was to understand that, and I need to understand it too, these people, these entities wouldn't even be able to exist anymore. I'm going to tell you something though. Okay, I'm going to say that for another one, but there are people here that can only exist, and I'm not just talking about the government, I'm not just talking about Biden, I'm talking about there are people here that can only exist in the false ego physical world. And they make up the majority of the population in the United States of America. Now, I can't really judge everybody that might have similar complexions, that are fair skinned. I'm trying to be as, I guess discreet as possible. I don't know. But it's a good number of them that cannot exist outside of the ego world. And so you hear them mostly, more than any other spiritual person they ever seen, you hear them mostly talking about thinking into existence. Think. They want to, because they, and the main ones that I hear pushing that, I know some people trying to make money, but I notice it's mainly them that want to talk about reprogramming the mind and think all this stuff into existence. And it's all about the mind, because number one, they dominate that air element. They dominate the mental anyway. Okay, that's what they dominate. But I'm just going to say I heard it through the grapevine. They cannot exist outside of the ego world, of the physical world. And so United States is going to be hard for people who might not be that complexion. Okay, I'm trying to be as sweet as possible. It's hard for people who might not be that complexion to really get anywhere in the United States of America, because they make up the majority. Okay, and they're not going to try to do anything outside of what they are capable of getting to. Let me say that. Okay, and that is why a certain group of people kind of have to be held down, and I've seen it in the spiritual realm where a certain group of people are actually held down while some of them are on top spiritually. I ain't talking about no material stuff now. I ain't talking about success and jobs. I'm talking about some spiritual stuff. Okay. Anyway, but the main message was about that hamster wheel. Okay. Because I'm not, you think you got all this stuff to do, but really you're doing nothing. And seriously, you're doing nothing. Like it's complete nothingness out there. It's complete oneness, darkness. That's what it is. Okay. But in this illusion, we've given all these different spectrums of light and colors and all this stuff to give us these shapes and forms that we look at every day. And we believe everything, and that's just going. And what came to me is that, because I said, well, how the heck I get out of it? Well, whenever you get a chance, you're gonna have to spend more time with yourself, and more time with yourself to the point where your spiritual self takes over the false self. That's what's going to happen. Other than that, if there's no practice, it won't work. Just like Simone Biles, if she don't practice, she can't be good, right? Or the other girl, gymnast, okay? Anybody. Michael Jordan. Just think of anybody who was good at what they did. If they did not practice, they could not be good, just like anything else that you think of. That is how, and this is what came to me, so I'm not trying to chastise anybody else, because I don't have the room to do it, okay? But this is just what came to me. Like anything else, I can't be sitting and looking at no YouTube after I get out and finish my day, and I sit and look at somebody on YouTube and forget about my spiritual self and think, oh, how I get there. Well, guess what? How did Michael Jordan become good? How did Michael Jackson, because I was thinking about that, how did Michael Jackson become good? I know people don't like Beyonce, but she works her ass off. I'm sorry. I started liking Beyonce because of her concerts. I wasn't even into her music. When I saw her work ethic, like I fell in love with her work ethic. She's not even the best dancer. It's not even about her being the best dancer. No, she's not the best singer. But she worked, because I don't know what she does now. She worked her ass off. Nobody can take that away from her. I don't care if you hate her or love her. I don't know the lady. But all I know is that I started liking Beyonce when I saw her work ethic during them doggone concerts. And how did she become so good in them concerts, become like a entertainer like that? It took work. She was there all night. It takes work. Same thing I said on the last video about finances and the financial literacy. And what we need to admit to ourselves is that our priorities are in the wrong place, most of us, even as grown-ups. We got to admit to ourselves our priorities are in the wrong place. Most of us, if we could get to that good credit or whatever, not even about having good credit. You can have good credit and still be messy with your finances. It's really financial literacy. Okay, and good credit is a part of it because it kind of makes room for things that you want to do. Okay, like rent cars, apartments, get a house, or stuff like that, or rent furniture, whatever you want to do. You need to show that you got some decent credit, but that's just, you can still be kind of messy. So financial literacy is far beyond that. And I'm gonna tell you something. If I type in financial literacy online right now on YouTube, I'll probably find no less than 100 so-called black people alone that's talking about it. And if you don't want to see them, there's a whole lot of other folks that's talking about it, okay? So it's just a matter of, it's free. And to say, well, I don't know, it's because you don't care. Because whatever you want to know, you end up finding it, because your attention energy goes where attention goes. Where's the energy flows where attention goes. If it's something you really want, somehow you're going to end up finding it, because that's how energy flows where attention goes. Okay? So anyway, so once again, it takes practice. That's all I'm saying. It just takes practice. And so that is it. And I will talk later.